Welcome, friends and members of the Liverpool Mahatma Magic Circle, to the 2020 President Night, the virtual gala. Yes, because this is a virtual show. You know that we are facing very difficult times, but stars can bright only in the darkest night. This is what was in my mind when I decided to organize this virtual show. Because we suspended all the activities this year. But I was thinking, as a president, I have the duty and the privilege to be able to organize a special night for all friends and members of our club. And arts cannot be stopped by the nature or by a pandemic or by anything. Arts are made for eternity, and so also the art of magic. So this is why I organized this virtual gala. And I want to give a message for this special year of internationalization. So I was looking for international performer, and I was looking for friends and performer around the world, Belgium, France, New Zealand, US, China. But then I say, no, I want to look for the performer in Italy, my own country. And not only because I want to bring, as the first foreigner president of the Liverpool Mahatma Magic Circle, something from my home country. But I wanted to choose Italian performer because Italy is the country that have been struck more and more severely by this virus. So I decided to choose performer from my country, from Italy, to give a message of hope. A message of hope that is simple. Soon we will meet again in person. Soon we will socialize again. Soon we will make magic great again. This was what I decided to bring tonight for the 2020 President Night, the virtual gala. It's my pleasure to introduce you to one of my best friends in Italy, one of the strongest links that I have to the magic Italian community. Now, the performer that I'm ready to introduce you is a mentalist, and I had the privilege to be his stage director for some of his shows, as well as when he performed greatly in the Italians talent show Tutti che Vales in the main Italian TV channel. Now, tonight he will do something different, something special, something more magical. Now, please put your hands together because I want to introduce you to Antonio Terranova. absolutely amazing. But now, ladies and gentlemen, let's do a few steps into the mysteries. Yes, because I want to introduce you to a mentalist, friend of mine that is specialized in mentalism one-to-one, but also in very bizarre routines. He has shows in Italy called Spiriti in Castello, that mean ghosts and spirit in a castle. In fact, he's used to perform in a 16th century castle in the north of Italy. And for us tonight, he will perform a very special storytelling mysterious routine. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Francesco Busani.
In un piccolo paese austriaco esisteva una lussuosa locanda di 4 stanze. L'anziano contadino ne divenne il fortunato proprietario da giovane. La ricevette in regalo dal diavolo in persona in cambio di una promessa. Avrebbe sempre dovuto tenere una stanza libera, nel caso il diavolo fosse tornato per occuparla. Un giorno arrivarono a pernottare 3 mercanti d'armi, ma giunsero anche 2 amanti, a cui il contadino affittò la 4ª stanza libera. Il contadino negli anni divenne ricco e tirchio, mantenendo il suo impegno con il demonio, che non arrivò mai. Fino a quella sera, le stanze si chiusero. 4 stanze, 4 clienti. Arrivò la mezzanotte e una presenza bussò alla locanda, reclamando la sua stanza. 4 stanze, 5 clienti. Il diavolo rapì l'anima degli amanti. 4 stanze, 4 clienti. Arrivò l'alba. Ogni stanza era ancora occupata. Quando le porte si riaprirono, il diavolo aveva liberato gli amanti dagli inferi. Ma si era preso l'anima del contadino e la sua locanda.
What a tremendous routine. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you again, I would say, a friend of Liverpool Mahatma Magic Circle. He came and lectured a couple of times for our club, but also he performed for another President Night, the night organized for the centenary celebration by our past president, Keith Wells. Now, the performer that I want to introduce you is a professional mentalist since at least 15 years. He performed for the main companies and industry in Italy, in a convention, but also he organized hundreds of shows. Especially he performed for thousands of people in Cinecittà World, an amusement park focused on movie and the art of cinema in Italy. I'm pretty sure that you recognize the person that I'm ready to introduce to you. So please, ladies and gentlemen, put your hand together for Max Vellucci.
Every language has many words. In Italian, we use about 200,000 different words. The average person knows and uses from 6,000 up to 8,000 different terms. This means that most people ignore the majority of words used in the Italian language. It's for this reason that we're going to use a dictionary for this experiment. What I'd like you to do, Giusy, is to check to see approximately how many pages this dictionary has. How many are there? About 700 pages? Every page has about 40 different words, and this dictionary confirms that it has about 55,000 different terms. What I'd like you to do now is to choose casually 2 words from this dictionary. We're going to do it in this way so that the words are really chosen randomly. Also, In this way, it's possible that you will choose a word that you don't know. So in case you don't know that word that you've chosen, you can read the definition as well. Okay, now, I will begin to flip the pages and you tell me when you want to stop. Here, would you like me to continue? Here, okay, I'll ask you to read the last definition on this page and I'll look away so that I can't see what you're reading. Okay, do you have it in your mind? Perfect. Now with you, we're going to do the same thing. I'll flip the pages and you tell me stop whenever you'd like. Look at the different words. There are many, and I'd like for you to choose only one, the one that you like the most. Do you have one? Okay, perfect. Now, what you have to do is very simple. Juicy, I'd like for you to write 3 words that you can associate with the one word that you have in mind. The important thing is that these 3 words are not connected to directly. For example, if you've chosen the word bottle, hopefully that wasn't the word, was it? For example, if you say water, glass, and cap, it would be simple for me to understand that the word that you chose was bottle. Or it could be something like glass. I don't know. Anyway, it must not be too simple for me to understand what you've chosen. So I'd like for you to create a personal association, something that's not so simple for me to understand. The important thing is that it is some way associated with the word that you've chosen. Fabio, you have also chosen a word amongst many available from a page chosen completely at random. What I'd like to ask you now is to write 5 words, and one of the 5 words will also be your word, and the other 4 words need to be at random without any connection to your word, okay? So, let's start with you. Please read out loud the words that you have written.
Bright,
Yes,
fold,
yes,
chew,
yes,
lie,
yes,
stage.
yes. Okay, now, I need to try to understand from which of these 5 words is your word, chosen completely at random, from a page that contained over 80 different words. I'm going to say the words bright, fold, chew, lie, and stage, and I'd like for you to respond simply yes to all of them. Is it bright?
Yes,
Fold?
yes,
Chew?
yes,
Lie?
yes,
Stage?
yes,
In my opinion, I don't think it's stage. Is it bright?
yes,
Is it fold?
yes,
Is it chew?
yes,
Is it chew?
yes,
Is it fold?
yes,
It's not fold. Is it lie?
yes,
Is it chew?
yes,
Is it bright?
yes,
It's either chew or lie. Try to imagine this word as if it were an action, but only mentally. Okay, which word did you choose? To lie. To lie. Okay, the first word. Thank you very much. With you, it's going to be a bit more difficult. With him, I had to choose one word amongst 5. With you, I have to find a word amongst 55,000 different words. That's why I asked you to write 3 words that were associated. Could you please say in a loud voice, what were the 3 words that you chose?
Air, heavy, spacious.
Okay, air, heavy, and spacious. I would like you to concentrate on the last letter of the word you're thinking of. It's, the last letter is a vowel, is that correct? Okay, I'll ask you to say now all of the vowels aloud.
A, E, I, O, U.
Okay. With which letter does your word finish?
O.
Let's try now something slightly more difficult. Now, let's try the first letter of the word, which could be a vowel or a consonant. I'll ask you to say aloud all of the alphabet. Go.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, Z.
Okay. What letter does your word start with?
R.
Now, let's try to do this. Can you tell me again the words that you wrote?
Air, heavy, spacious.
Okay. I think it's... Can you tell me the word you're thinking of?
Respiro.
What a tremendous performance! But now, ladies and gentlemen, let's change the stage. Because now I want to bring you in the realm of stories, with the storytelling. This is a very, very ancient art. But the performer that I want to introduce you is a modern storyteller. It's very modern and absolutely welcome on the stage around the world. In 2018, I met him when he won during Doomsday, the bizarre magician convention in the UK. He won the X Factor, so that competition. Great routine in that time. But more recently, in 2020, the beginning of this year, he won the Screaming Goat competition. Well, the title is already very interesting. And this competition is organized by the East Coast Spirit Session. It's a convention, again, in this case in US, for bizarre magician. But now I want to introduce you to this performer that he calls himself the Incantastorie. That is mean the storyteller that tells stories using incantation, spells, charms, and magic. So please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Stefano Cavanna.
We're only 3 persons that succeeded in making the Maracanã completely silent. The Pope, Frank Sinatra, and me. Those are the words pronounced by Aristides Gija. It was one of the 11 members of the national Uruguayan football team that in 1950 disputed the final of the World Championship of Football against Brazil. The thing is that the Maracanã Stadium, as Aristides Gija said, was the place in which the match had place because Brazil hosted in 1950 the World Championship of Football. But I'm not going to talk about Aristides Gija. I am going to talk about him. He is Moacir Barbosa, is the goalkeeper of the Brazilian football team. As you can see, he's Afro-American. This is very, very important for our story, but we will arrive to that in a moment. Before we start, I want you to stand up and start singing as loud as you can. Is it embarrassing, isn't it? I just wanted you to feel the same feelings that those guys here, the members of the Brazilian football team, felt during the days before the World Championship. They were treated like gods. Some people stopped them while they were walking on the street to ask them an autograph, to take some pictures, to ask them the blessings for their daughter that was ill, for example. They asked them to cure their daughters, their sons, like they were saints, because they were treated like saints, like gods. Brazil hoped so hard to win that championship because they wanted, thanks to the victory, to go out from poverty, from all the problems that Brazil had during those years. So they built the Maracanã for the occasion. They started to live that moment like a real miracle. And they have all the reason to hope that Brazil would have won the championship because they were really, really strong. It was one of the strongest teams, I think the strongest team in the world. In fact, Brazil, without any problem, arrived to dispute the final. But against him, there was the Uruguayan football team. Uruguayan was not so strong as Brazil, so Brazil just needed a draw to win, while Uruguay have to win properly, okay, against the Brazil. Now, please, figure out the Maracanã of Rio de Janeiro. 200,000 people, all dressed with the gold and green shirt. There were already the shirts with the champion wrote on them. The newspaper had already prepared the first page in which there was written that Brazil would have won the World Championship. Everything was set to celebrate Brazil. And Uruguay had to play a match against all those people and those monsters here. Now we are entering in the fields. The first half, 0-0. Nothing happened, but Brazil was about to win, as I said. Second half, Brazil with Friassa, scores. And so 1 Brazil, 0 Uruguay. Maracanã explodes. It's done. We're champions. And so everything was about to be ready for the celebration, but Obdulio Varela, the captain of Uruguayan football team, that was called El Jefe Negro, the black chief, because he was tall, black, and really, really strong, bring the ball and start talking with the referee that was in English. He knew perfectly that he was in English, but he starts talking to him in Spanish. He says that he wants an interpreter because he says that their goal was not regular, but everything of the words he said were in Spanish. Why did he do that? Because after 20 minutes, the game was stopped for 20 minutes. Not so fair nowadays, but after 20 minutes, all the audience in the Maracanã was confused. Didn't know what happened because they could not hear, they could not listen what was happening in the field. And the players of the Brazil, after the adrenaline that went out thanks to the first goal, they were totally empty. They had no energy. In fact, with Juan Alberto Schiaffino, Uruguay won, Brazil won. And you can see that something inside poor Moacir Barbosa starts to get wrong. And the poor Moacir Barbosa has kind of an omen that something really bad was about to happen. In fact, 4 minutes before the match ends, Aristides Gija, that played in the right lane, starts running towards Moacir Barbosa. Moacir Barbosa knew that Aristides Gija was about to pass the ball to the center because he did that for all the match. So Moacir Barbosa moves towards the center to be prepared to stop the ball of the other attacker. But Aristides Gija, instead of passing the ball, throws directly and scores. Uruguay 2, Brazil 1. This is the sound that covered the Maracanã. You could have heard something ripping because no one dared to talk anymore. They have lost. A lot of people died of heart attack after the goal of Gija. A lot of people committed suicide after they lose the match. But Brazil, that lost the match, needed desperately to find someone to blame. And who better than an Afro-American goalkeeper? So Moacir Barbosa was known as the goalkeeper that made Brazil cry. And the people start blaming, start spitting on him while they saw him. For example, they changed their lane when he was passing because they said he brought bad luck to the people. They start insulting his wife too. They were so crazy and they wanted so desperately to blame him because he was black, because he was the goalkeeper and so on and so forth, that they started to prohibit him to play again football, and moreover, they prohibited him to enter, to say hello to his companions that were about 4 years later, in 1954, to play the World Championship because he brought bad luck. This is what happens when you have desperately to find someone to blame and your wrath falls upon someone that probably has some fault, but is not the only responsible. Okay? This is very important because the words are really heavy. Moacir Barbosa was completely shattered. He could have killed himself, like many other Brazilians did. But he didn't. He survived instead. Of course, his life would never be the same, but he survived to teach us that it's completely unuseful and stupid finding someone to blame or force someone to carry all our guilt because something that was out of our control happened. So keep in mind the story of Moacir Barbosa, because remember, there were not so many people as strong as an Afro-American, the first Afro-American goalkeeper of Brazilian football team. Thank you for the attention. Have a good night.
Speechless. What else I can say? Now, ladies and gentlemen, is the moment to introduce you to another friends of Liverpool Mahatma Magic Circle, a performer that came to teach in our club in 2019, a performer that has been awarded in the Macmillan Convention, that performed at the Master of Magic, at the FISM. He was invited to perform at the Magic Castle in US, and also is a member of the Escuela Mágica de Madrid, a very, very prestigious magical academy. But tonight, he will perform for us, for this President Night 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gianfranco Preverino.
We'll be performing card magic. Benny Bossi authorizes him. Good afternoon. My name is Gianfranco, and this is Manuel, who weekly helped me later on. Thank you. And from my English, you can guess that I am Italian. However, if there is anything you don't understand, please ask, and then I will repeat it in Italian. Seeing is believing. For example, on seeing this, you will believe that the cards are white. But it's possible to recognize the different cards. For example, this is the first joker, and also from the backs. This is the second joker. So, and the difference is very clear between this one and this one, which is not a joker. Not everyone is convinced. So, for those of you who don't believe this, I gently wrap the jokers, and now they are visible. But it's only a matter of strength, but not physical, magical strength. And now, all the cards are visible. And, if I keep the jokers too close to the deck, all the cards turn red. Red the jokers, and red all the deck. And also the card case. But, before going any further, Mr. Boris Wilde, I place some cards on the table, very slowly. Please, say stop at any time. Sure. On the 6 of heart. And please check that there's a normal card, no double face, double index, or Raffin Floyd. And also important, no duplicate here or there, no alternating, no, the only one, 6 of heart. This is a free choice. And we will leave it here till the end of the routine. And at the end, remember your free choice. For now, a classic in card magic, finding the aces, but in a complicated fashion. I create chaos in the deck by shuffling some cards face up with some face down, and to make sure that I have no control over the chaos, I shut my eyes and I continue to mix up the cards. In Italian slang, this is a gran burdel. Now, the idea is to find the aces by using the sensitivity of the fingertips. And with the deck in this condition, by simply rolling it, 1, 2, 3, and the 4 aces appears, yes. And to transform chaos into order, I pass the left hand over these cards, and the wheel automatically face in the same way. And by waving my hand over the aces, these 4 piles are 4 beautiful royal flushes. But I know what you're thinking. And the card here, at the end. For now, the power of the left hand, because it is the hand of the heart. The color of the heart is red, so for the red deck, the power of the left hand. Okay, anyway, for those of you who believe this, I have a red label, which I put here. In fact, if I snap the fingers of the left hand, these shuffle cards are now in alternate order. Red, black, red, black. Whereas, if I snap twice, they will be in couples. 2 red, 2 black. And of course, it's possible to restart. If I snap once, the cards line up as before, and red and black, and can go on and on, not only the few top cards. Now, remember, if I snap twice, they will be in couples. But if I snap the fingers 3 times, the cards are black, 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 red, 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 3 black cards and 3 red cards. But I know what you're thinking. It's only skill. In reality, is the sensitivity of the fingertips. For example, Mr. O'Brien, name any card you like.
7 of hearts.
7. Okay. 1 more left. Okay. 7 of hearts. Sure. And 7 of hearts is good for you. Do I want to roll in my act? No. Okay. 7 of hearts. The 7 of hearts. Thank you. But I know what you're thinking once more. You're thinking that it's only me touching and cutting and shuffling the cards. But what if you were to shuffle the cards? It's your turn. And I have here a deck for you. I am magician and not a stupid. And are you excited? Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Go. Excellent. Very professional. FISM level. And important. Both decks are well shuffled and also well squared. Both decks well squared. And now, if I pass the left hand over my deck, the cards are separated. All the rest in one half and all the blacks on the other. And remember this, your free choice will be important at the end. But first the difference. I haven't passed my hand over your cards, and in fact, they're not separated. They're still mixed up. And this is not a great effect, as I understand from your applause. Thank you. And please, with your finger, indicate one of the judges. Anyone? Obi. Yes. One more time. Obi O'Brien. Okay. Mr. Obi O'Brien, from a shuffle deck, an important shuffle deck by him, more difficult. Please, name any card, like before.
4 of clubs.
4 of clubs. And, sure. Only you for now. Only you look the card. And now show it. Show it clearly to the audience to make sure that everybody can see the 4 of clubs. And. Now it's clear. I do the same effect I've done before, but with your shuffle deck. And for this, I have also a blue label, which I put here. And also important, please, put the card back. I need a complete deck. And now, if I snap the fingers of the right hand now, with this deck, like before, are 1 red, 1 black, 1 red, 1 black, 1 red, 1 black. If I snap the fingers twice, naturally, red, red, black, black, red, red, black, black. If I send the fingers 3 times, also your cards. Red, 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 black, black, black. 3 red cards and 3 black cards. But the right hand is also the end of the order. In fact, if I pass it over here like before, the cards are separated, reds and blacks. But not only, look, also in order from Mr. King of Hearts and Mr. King of Spades. And also these 2 pies are in order now. All the clubs and all the diamonds in order. And I have to make a confession. In reality, the power is not in the hand. It's in the label. In fact, if I put away the blue label, I pass the red label over his blue deck, like before, the blue deck transforms into a red one. Look, like before, all is red. And, Mr. Boy is white, remember, at the beginning, your free choice on the 6 of hearts, you remember this. Because if I write on the back of the first card, 6 of hearts, it's not magic. But if I write 6 of hearts on the magic label, the magic begins. And now the writing appears also on the second card, here on the third, here on the fourth, here on the fifth, here on the sixth, and on the next, on the next, on the next, on the next, on the next. Look, on the back of all the cards appears the writing 6 of hearts.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we reached the end of this 2020 President Night, the virtual gala. Well, I don't believe that a virtual meeting will be the new form of socialization or shows. But now this is what we have, because we need to take care of the health and safety of ourselves, but especially of everyone and all the people that maybe they're more vulnerable. So I really thank all of you that took part virtually to this show. And of course, I am so grateful to all the performers that join me in this crazy idea. So please, ladies and gentlemen, put again your hands together for Antonio Terranova, Francesco Busan, Stefano Cavanna, Max Vellucci, and Gianfranco Preverino. Thank you to all of you. I really hope that this message that came from my home country will be a message of hope. Soon we will stay together again. Soon we will enjoy the arts again. And soon we will join the arts of magic again. Soon we will make magic great again.